I went into Final Destination Bloodline expecting fun kills. I did not expect it to be this smart, this brutal, and this confident. This isn't just another sequel. This is the best Final Destination movie we've gotten. Let's talk about it. What shocked me the most wasn't just all the creativity behind the deaths here, but how it all feels so intentional. This movie understands why this franchise works in the first place, and it builds on it instead of repeating it. The tension is back, the unpredictability is back, and I'm glad to say Final Destination Bloodlines pushes back into the deaths game. I am Chewy, and this is my spoiler-free review for Final Destination Bloodlines. Plagued by a violent and recurring nightmare, a college student heads back home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle of death and save her family from the grisly demise that awaits them all. Final Destination is directed by Zach Lebisky and Adam Stain. I'm sorry if I said anyone's name incorrectly. This is the 6th entry in this franchise, and the last movie came out 14 years ago, which was Final Destination 5. And gotta say, it was worth the wait. This is part of a series that I wanted to complete before the end of the year. I never got a chance to review this movie because it came out before I began my channel. And I want to review all of the movies that I bought that came out in 2025. And what better way to begin than with Bloodlines. I saw this one in IMAX and it fully enhanced the whole experience for me. It's safe to say we all like this franchise. It's a franchise that made us scared of logging trucks, being on a roller coaster, seeing a live car race, flying on a plane, and now having a simple great time on a dance floor. Every movie is subjective and we all could feel different about them. And despite this franchise having some great memorable moments, not all of the acting in all of them has been that great. This one though, everything in this movie pushed it onto a whole different standard. And if you agree, maybe please subscribe, and if not, let me know why not in the comments below. You can feel and see when a franchise is running out of ideas. You can feel the baggage and how they are trying to simply put out a movie out there. It could be because they want to make a profit or they don't want to lose the rights to that franchise. Bloodlines could have been this, but fortunately the team behind it wanted to make a good movie in the end. Fingers crossed the exact same team behind this movie comes back to make a sequel. After all, this movie was made on a budget of $50 million and it made $315 million worldwide in the box office. That is 6 times the actual budget. But for now, let me go over everything that I liked about this film. Based off the trailers, I thought it was going to connect all the previous Bloodlines into one movie, somehow. And what we got, I was not expecting, but I actually like that. What it gave us was just as great as to what I had in my mind. There is a family here, and no one in this family comes off as annoying, which is great because you actually care or feel some sort of way when they die. Well, maybe just one particular character, but regardless, you know, in the end, people in this family are going to die. But the question now is, how are they going to die and in what order? The suspense in this movie is off the freaking charts. And you get a hint that something may cause pain or suffering and death, and I love that feeling throughout the whole movie here. If this movie is ever re-released in theater, I will go back to check it out again just for that opening scene. And talking about the opening scene, this script got us attached to the 2 characters right away. The 2 being Iris and her boyfriend Paul. You know something bad is going to happen to them, but since you got attached so quickly, you wish not to see them in pain. I actually loved how the sun was shining on them during the special moment, but then of course death comes for them. And by the way, I'm saying this because it was actually shown in a trailer, but that dancing scene was actually really memorable too. All the images, the editing, the music in the background, it all gets your heart beating really quick. I actually like how they were playing raindrops were falling on my head, and then out of nowhere, bam, 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 bodies just keep on falling. At this point in this franchise, we all know how those intros are going to play out. And here, it was a bit different. It actually mixes things up, just like how Scream 6 did. Years into making this franchise, the team bothered to make it different, interesting, and unique. And that I truly appreciate. I know we go into these movies for crazy ass death scenes and crazy moments, but the fact that it bothered to have a good script and a good story makes everything much better. Don't get me wrong though, we still get plenty of crazy death scenes. There's no shortage in that. There's a grandma here, and the way she speaks to death is just freaking hilarious. The grandma is the one that gives the book to Stephanie, who is the main character here. And this book teaches you how to cheat death. The book itself is pretty intriguing, honestly. That scene shown in the trailer where the whole family's having a barbecue out in the back, perfection, just like that intro. It shows a character chewing ice, and it freaks you out thinking that something might happen to them. This was shown in the trailer, but seeing the lawnmower obliterate the guy's face made me think of a Final Fatality in Mortal Kombat. I don't know if this is statistic, but I laughed when they showed going from one funeral to another funeral between the family. I mean, after all, it is titled Bloodlines for a reason. Another scene that I loved a lot was a scene in the tattoo shop. Eric pretends to be tough, but deep inside he's hurt. And then, while in the vulnerable moment in despair, death comes for him too. I wanted to point out what Eric said in that scene, and it's true. Leave a 5-star review, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Please and thank you. There is a crazy ass scene here as well in the hospital, and I would just say this. I'm glad I only got 2 piercings on me, because holy damn. And while I'm at it, I would just say this. I love all the death scenes here. There is a scene where Stephanie, again the main character, predicts how someone might die. And that was one of the most hilarious scenes I've seen in this franchise so far. If you've seen any of the movies in this franchise before, then you will know one way to cheat death is to kill someone else and suck up their lifespan basically. And there was one scene where one of the characters looks at a baby and thought, should I? Yeah, that shit was crazy. There was a callback to the second movie, and that felt really rewarding, honestly. Mainly to those who have been on this journey through the first movie and through it all, and you can see how much it has progressed, in the best way possible, that is. The ending on this movie, though, just 3 words: bad shit crazy. This movie really went full circle when it showed a prominent character that has been since the beginning of this franchise, the Mortician. In my opinion, he's the one character that connects through everything and is the connecting thread of it all. And what they did with this character here was heartwarming and beautiful. For those who do not know this, the final scene with him was actually improvised. The directors asked the actor, Tony Todd, to say this as a final goodbye and farewell to all of the fans of the franchise. They did that knowing that this movie was going to be probably his last one due to his terminal illness. Tony moved on November 6, 2024. May you rest in peace, my guy. His last words really hit me hard. His last words were, life is precious, enjoy every second of it, because you never know when. True words of wisdom. But for now, let me go over everything I didn't like about this movie. And honestly, there's not one thing I didn't like. I loved it all. This all leads me to my rating for this film. And for this one, this is a 5 out of 5. This is the true cinematic experience. I recommend watching this movie in the biggest screen possible, with the speakers all the way up to be fully immersed. And if you're like me, I recommend buying this movie in 4K, here you go, or get it in VOD for your video digital collection. Well, thank you for your time today, my cinematic family. Please hit the subscribe button, maybe the like button if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on Final Destination Bloodlines if you've seen it or if you plan on seeing it. I am Chewy, and this is Chewy Cinematic Talk. Take care, I'll see you next time. And by the way, the moral of the story is, never mess around with the penny because it will come back to haunt you.